my budget is 40, and here's Big Billion Day, which makes that 70,000 product come at 45. Assume for a minute, I'm just making these numbers up. We actually hit a lot of deals inside the app, okay, and customers have to discover those deals. How do I use other ways of creating impact? There was one which was print. There was one which was on Alia Bhatt's Instagram page.
Oh,
There was one which was on Jackie Shroff's Instagram page. So there is, and I actually asked my team, "Are we paying influencers to do this?"
welcome to Flamcast, a space where we dive into everything mixed reality, marketing, and the future of creating unforgettable brand experiences. Today, we have a very special guest with us from D2C sector, Pratik Shetty. He heads marketing and media at Flipkart. Welcome, Pratik. We
Thanks,
are
thanks, thanks for having me on this
we
podcast.
are very
Quite an honor.
happy and very honored to have you here.
Thanks, Nidhi.
Um, Pratik, I was going through your profile on LinkedIn and
Sure.
I've done a lot of research on Flipkart and you as well. It is very interesting to see your career path. You
Sure.
have been with two companies for over 14 years. What made you stick to two companies only for such a long period of time?
Okay. Now, first of all, I was in Cadbury or Mondelez for nearly 12 and a half of those
Yes.
14 years. It's been 2 years now in Flipkart. So if that a question is basically why was I in Cadbury for such a long time? I had just joined out of campus there. Uh, what makes you actually stay in an organization is typically good work, the opportunity to do good work,
Okay.
a good culture, right? That's those are the two things which really make you stick in any organization. And also because it was the point where I just got into professional life, the opportunity to learn was very very high, right? So when you work on interesting brands, when you are given the freedom to do interesting work, your learning is actually quite accelerated,
Okay.
and it's and you enjoy doing what you're doing, and that's broadly why I stuck at Mondelez for such a long time. Been in Flipkart for a couple of years, been sticking here as well, and I think the same principle holds true. You have good freedom to do interesting work. You are given a push to actually test new boundaries, and yeah, there is always interesting work happening. So that's broadly what makes you stick.
Oh, so what made you shift from Mondelez to Flipkart?
Oh, that was actually a personal reason.
Okay.
I was given a role in Mondelez, which was out of India,
Okay.
but I had some personal issues here where I had a baby coming, and I had to shift to Bangalore for that.
Okay.
And at that point, I thought, if I am going to shift to Bangalore, I will look for a new industry, try and learn something new. And that's how I shifted out of Mondelez and joined Flipkart.
Okay. Okay. Moving on, I'm sure as a head of marketing and media, you have a lot of things on your plate every day. When I start my day, I like to set my day with a quick huddle with my team, and that sets the tone for the rest of the day. How do you like to start with your day? Is it like a analytics that you want to get into, or consumer insight, or you want to get your hands dirty with the creatives?
See, it depends on the organization you work. I think Flipkart is a place where there is, how do I put it? There is a lot of healthy chaos.
Okay.
Okay. It's nice because constructive chaos helps.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
There is always something or the other happening. So you might plan your day, saying that these are the 5 or 6 things that I need to touch base on, get an update from the team on, see how do I push work forward. So those are for 5 or 6 things which I at least make a bucket list of every day to say where am I right now on those tracks, and what is it that where do I need to push it at the end of the day. But at the same time, you have to be ready to suddenly get 5 6 other tracks which will be put on your list on that particular day, because there
Okay.
will definitely be some or the other emergency, or at least some urgency which will always be there in an organization like Flipkart. There will always be about an expectation in terms of turnaround times, which is at least 5 to 6 times faster than any other place that I have ever seen. So, so it's you plan your day to do 5 6 things, and then also have the bandwidth to take on 2 or 3 urgent tasks, which will definitely come.
I think Flam is also going through the similar similar space where
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot of madness and chaos, and how much ever you plan, everything goes haywire.
yeah. But the thing is that Flipkart is in that space where we are a large organization, so
Absolutely.
there are a lot of things which are streamlined.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a heart of a startup
Yeah.
where which is a good place to be,
Yeah.
because there will always be this push to to do something different, to do something new, to try and experiment on something, to figure out how do we solve a certain business problem today. So it's a nice place to be.
I've been seeing a lot of quirky OH, and that has been displayed everywhere on digital. So, what is the take? Why, being an e commerce, a digital brand, you go and advertise on an OH platform?
Sure.
And do you want to come out or set a tone as a quirky brand, or there is something completely different in store?
Sure. See, the way OH media is built,
Hmm.
okay, a lot of brands use OH in different ways. For example, if it's an FMCG brand
Yeah.
launched a new product, and let's say the product is very metro-centric, okay, and hence they will paint the town red with all possible OH placements and ensure that everyone who's in that city gets to know of this new launch. The other thing that OH does very impactful. So in traditional marketing parlance, they are known as impact media. So you do a lot of OH in the entire city, and everyone in the city now starts talking about
Talking
the
about,
fact
yeah.
that there's a new launch happening
Hmm.
there. For us, okay, as a market as an organization, we look at all possible media vehicles. Let's assume for a minute I do television, I do digital. I'm able to get my reach and frequency done, but at the same time, how do I use other ways of creating impact? OH for me is not about painting the town red. OH for me is how do I do something which spreads on digital? That's
Hmm.
broadly the way we do OH. And it's not to say that I want to do OH. The way we go about it is, I'll give you an example. Let's say there is an affluent consumer, okay?
Hmm.
He's not on TV, he's only on OTT. Okay, a lot of these folks generally now don't watch television.
Yeah, absolutely.
They moved out. They are probably on some social media platforms, but largely their consumption is whatever is their feed. Could be Twitter, could be Instagram,
IG, yeah.
could be LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Then they will watch content on YouTube where they might get a premium subscription, hence
They
no
won't be
ads there.
using ads, yeah.
And OTT where like Netflix doesn't have ads, Prime
Mm.
Video doesn't have
Doesn't
ads,
have ads.
right?
Very few
So
OTTs have ads.
this is a very very premium consumer
Mm.
who's not going to get service with any ads from me,
Hmm.
who might not even come across what I do. So what we call it as is an activation or an
Okay.
idea which basically has organic legs,
Mm.
an idea which we do somewhere, but it also comes in the news cycle of someone who I cannot
Reach
target
out.
through conventional media targeting.
Okay.
And OH for me is one of the ways in which we do this. So we do a lot of quirky stuff. Like the Big Billion Days, we did something which was just saying that hey, if you buy something during the sale and there are all these packages which come in your home,
Yeah.
and everyone gives you these remarks saying that hey पैसे क्या पेड़ पे उगते हैं, and these are the kind of remarks you get, right? So we did one idea which was just you can order a sticker which you can put on your parcel which just says I won this on lottery or something like that as like a scratch card, and so that you can tell your parents no, no, this I didn't pay for this. These are just a quirk, but these are the ideas we try and execute, and some of these ideas are on OH. So
Yeah.
we do one or two OH and then ensure that we're able to amplify that on digital and figure out a way in which it comes in the news cycle of a lot of these
This is a
consumers.
very, very smart way of reaching out to the right audience with the right messaging and standing out also in the marketing circle.
Yeah, yeah. So this is broadly the idea behind doing OH. It's not about saying that hey, we are a brand which does a lot of OH.
You are also setting up a tone as well. Like Zomato has its own tone, which is like
Yes.
quirky, funny, and it is memorable also. Like Flipkart is also doing the similar thing, but they do a lot more OH than you guys. But it is the right way to reaching out to the audience you could not have
Yeah.
reached through ads.
Yeah.
Moving on, Big Billion Day Sale have become such an initiative. It's an annual event. A festival in itself nowadays. Uh, I know pulling something like this, like Big Billion Day, an event like this, could be massive for everyone. From a marketing point of view, how do you align so many moving parts like customer expectation, influencer marketing, creative campaigns, media buying, and there's so much logistics involved in all of it. How do you go about it, and how you ensure that the messaging is consistent across all the channels?
Okay. See, during Big Billion Days, I'll just take a step back and say it's not just marketing, right? So there's a lot of planning which goes behind it because
Absolutely, yeah.
you will be 5x, 6x, 10x probably of what you do
More active, yeah.
on a day-to-day business level also you'll be at that
Yeah.
scale, right? So there's a huge amount of planning which goes behind it on supply chain. There's a lot of initiatives that they take to ensure that at least most of our consumers get what they ordered on time
Hmm.
without any issues. We have a full customer support backend which also gets overloaded during time.
Hmm.
That's also prepared. Then the other thing is there is a coordination which happens between what we refer to as the on-platform team, category teams, and the off-platform team. So
Okay.
we would largely be off-platform. That's what marketing comes in.
Okay.
So a lot of work which is done by the on-platform team, which is we have an events team which manages these massive events. How does it look on platform? How do we show the right products to consumers? A
Hmm.
category team which gets you all the right products with the right offers. They figure out which is the best offer for the consumers. So that there's a huge amount of coordination which happens there. And then I think one thing we need to be very clear on is at the end of the day, Big Billion Day is all about getting those things which probably slightly out of reach for a lot of people, where it becomes
Affordable.
it becomes within your reach.
Yeah.
It's almost magical, right? To say
Hmm.
things which I thought I could not be able to buy, now it's suddenly within reach.
Yeah.
Like there is a phone which comes for 70,000. My budget is 40, and here's Big Billion Day, which makes that 70,000 product come at 45. Assume for a minute, I'm just making these numbers up.
Yeah.
None of them might be true, but hey, I can just stretch a bit, and now I can get the product I really aspire for because it's suddenly become within reach.
Yeah. At an absolutely affordable price, discounted
So
price.
that's the consistency that we've kept through the years, both in terms of what we offer on platform and what we communicate off platform to say that there are products now within your reach. So why don't you go and get that?
Yeah.
And I think as I said, for all consumer cohorts, we try and see which are the products that we focus on, or what are the key value indicators or the signals that we want to give to each consumer cohort, and hero those products and build stories around them.
Okay.
I mean, that's broadly the approach, and that's why we try and keep consistency over there.
Okay. So, but during this Big Billion Day sales, there are a lot of other brands, e-commerce brands that are active with their annual sales. I'm sure there's a lot of pressure while the other logistic team and the on app team,
Yeah,
yeah, goes through different kind of category team goes through different kind of pressure. Marketing team goes through another pressure, how to differentiate
sure.
their offering to the competitive offering. How do you go about that?
So there are two things. One is see, how do we a work for this particular event,
Hmm.
and how do I ensure that a lot of people come for Big Billion Days? So that's broadly traffic generation for the platform. That's what we
Okay.
work towards. The second thing is we have built a lot of equity around Big Billion Days. So if you took look at all the other platforms and all the other events that they have built, it's very difficult for consumers to even recollect their names, right? But Big
Yeah.
Billion Days is just on the tip of your tongue because over the years, a lot of teams have actually put in a lot of effort to build that brand.
Yeah.
So Big Billion Day is actually another brand from Flipkart, if you think about it,
Yeah.
right? So the other effort that we try and do is to ensure that how do we keep on contributing to build that brand around Big Billion Days, because
Okay.
that's very important for next year and the year after that. So yes, there's a certain amount of spend which goes into getting consumers this year, but there is also a lot of effort which goes into building brand Big Billion Days. So we do two things. One is, of course, the wider media vehicles like television and digital. What is it that we say about the event? How do we keep on building the stature of the event?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not just about talking about offers, but also how do I build the stature of Big Billion Days?
Mm-hmm.
I spoke about activations. During Big Billion Days, it's almost like what I would refer to as the Barbie approach, where there is a movie, but everywhere you look, there is something or the other happening even before the movie
Yeah.
is released, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we try and do. We do a lot of activations just to ensure that wherever the consumer is, there is something or the other which makes consumers talk about Big Billion Days. So that's also how we build the brand. So that's kind probably what we do for Big Billion Days.
Actually, Pratik, I agree with you. I was trying to recall another sales name and I could not get it. I could only get Big Billion Day sale because I think you not only generating revenue or lead gen or traffic to your platform during that time, you're also building a brand, and which you have rightly said you are building over the years. So there's a lot of effort that goes in building the brand name for Big Billion Day itself. Having said this, you guys have won two the awards recently. What was that
Oh,
about?
so we won the Asia Pacific FEs about a month back. This is for the campaign that we did for Big Billion Days last year.
Okay.
So last year, the whole idea around Big Billion Days was that deals are so crazy that you'll not get them anywhere else, right?
Okay.
And this is more like an integrated campaign. Yes, there is this thought that we put on television, so everything that is crazy was happening on the things you see. What's happening is broadly what you would feel when you watch a
Mhm.
television commercial. Apart from that, a lot of surround activations were done to make it an integrated marketing campaigns. For example, one was around we actually hit a lot of deals inside the app. Okay, and customers have to discover those deals.
Oh,
So let's assume that you bought a safety pin, but there is a
okay.
washing machine free with that safety pin.
Oh my God,
So there's
really?
so that was a
I should have
there,
bought.
no, but only one of you can. So there are such deals hidden across the platform, and we let clues across all media vehicles. So
It was on, I think it was on print as well.
yes, there was
Yeah.
one which was print. There was one which was on Alia Bhatt's Instagram page.
Oh,
There was one which was on Jackie Shroff's Instagram page. So we've just put a lot of clues in different places, and people who are able to decipher that will actually claim that deal. So that was one of the ideas that we did. And we took very interesting media channels to put in these clues. So one of the media channels, for example, was YouTube videos. A lot
yeah.
of these big YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
What we did was we put comments from Flipkart. So there is one, let's say there is, at that time, I think Animal, the movie was releasing.
Okay.
So under that, we put a comment which is candle is melting.
Oh,
It mean there is that actually is a clue
and then
because
you can,
so basically if someone discovered that comment, if any we saw went on Flipkart and searched candle
candle
is
is
melting,
melting.
you would have gotten the deal.
God,
So that's what we've done.
absolutely crazy.
So those are the kind of things that we did, and but the FE was for that
How
campaign.
do you come with these ideas? These are crazy ideas and completely clutter breaking.
So this is in collaboration with our creative agencies, of course. So
Okay.
the way we go about it is, hey, this Big Billion Days, there's a brief it goes with Big Billion Days. And I think what we are very clear about in the brief itself is it's not just about doing TV digital. It's also about creating campaigns which become very talk worthy and which really to capture the attention of the consumer. So that's broadly when they come up with ideas along with the scripts for TV, what they want to do in digital, and what are the ideas that they want to do in activations, and we execute
That's how you.
a few of them.
Okay, understood. Moving on, in line with Flipkart's approach to create memorable experience for their customer, how did the team come up with the idea to integrate MR in their recent print ad?
Oh, that's a very different. So it was not an initiative from us. Okay.
Okay.
So I think it started with us doing a print ad for televisions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because we wanted to sell a lot more of televisions and appliances, and we thought let's do something interesting on print, and there was a full copy ready for this. Uh, Ravi, who heads our M&A charter
Okay.
and also our strategy in a way, he reached out to me saying that someone from Flam contacted and he gave me a few references, and then the Flam team and I got on a call. This was I think on Thursday. On a Thursday, we got on a call at 2 o'clock, and they said that this was something that is our technology. So I actually at that time I felt this can go with our current idea that we have on print for
Okay.
for televisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the agency on call at, so this was at 2. At 3:30 we connected with the agency. At 5 o'clock we ideated between Flam, us and the agency. By 8 o'clock we said okay, let's do this. The print was by the way going to go live on Monday.
Yeah.
So Friday we had the idea finalized. Saturday we had one version. Sunday, of course, we realized that that version doesn't really work so well, but there are a few issues. And the question I remember asking was, can this issue be solved? They said it will affect about 2% of users, but it can't be solved. I said, let's go ahead. So that's broadly the time. With Thursday we got to know a Flam. Monday we are there. So that's the I have never I don't think you guys have seen such a quick turnaround. I don't think we have done such quick turnarounds as
No,
well,
that was
especially
the
when it comes to tech.
yeah, that was the first time 24 hours or 48 hours we could turn around something which is alpha experience.
Yeah.
That was maddening in house as well. But how was the experience? Like overall,
No,
how
no,
was
I think we
the
got a good response. Uh, I'll tell you something very funny which happened. Okay, on Monday we actually had a plan to say this is not meant for print, right? At the end of the day, even print is for us is like OH. We don't treat print as print.
Mm-hmm.
We treat print as as an impact media.
Mm-hmm.
Do something interesting. Consumers need to talk about it so that more consumers get exposure to what Flipkart wants to say. Now, on Monday, suddenly on LinkedIn, we saw these very big influencers talking about
Okay.
the Flam ad, and I actually asked my team, "Are you paying influencers to do this?"
Okay.
Because I really don't. I think that a lot of it starts looking fake, and hence I said, "Please don't do this." Uh, and the team said they've not put in the plans.
Yeah.
So then we reached out to Flam whether you
Yeah.
guys are promoting, and you said you guys are not promoting yourselves. I thought it could be the Copcom team. I reached out to them. They said they are not doing it. I reached out to our television category team if they are doing it, and they are not doing it either. And then we got to know apparently that this whole experience, this video of the sofa turning, and you can work and
You can
television
see the
offers has changed.
turn. Yeah.
That apparently came in some creators group,
Oh,
and they started sharing it organically, and that's quite good because the reach becomes far better for us because it
the
then
digital
goes,
reach.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it goes beyond print and it
Yeah.
becomes a bigger idea for
So
us.
that has always been the idea for Flipkart. Even
Yes.
for OOH, you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to reach out through digital channels.
Yes.
So
So
that is what has
yeah, so
happened
it
to
worked
print
for
ad
us.
also. Okay, so having said this, I feel like every month or every quarter or every year, there are new technologies, new trends that is coming in marketing. We as marketers are also evolving so much with the new trends, and it is constantly changing. So the way people consume media has changed completely. The way people consume content has changed completely. What are some trends that you are excited about in marketing right now? And what is, as per you, what is the big next thing?
Oh, okay. I'm not sure about trends. I think what we are at least getting excited about is technology, which is enabling creative. How do I put it? Generating creatives. Okay.
So
I think
generative AI?
I'm not saying generative AI. Let me. It is in okay. Let's. I don't want to call it generative AI, but
Okay.
okay. Let me take a step back. What's happening? Okay. Let's take a step back to say what was traditional creative generation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have a script and you go into production. It's a big production house, lot of expense,
Mm-hmm.
and hence you could only do a few pieces every year,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, for me, what's exciting about the industry is a lot of the creative pieces. Okay, do not necessarily need to rely on getting shot. Okay, a lot of things can be generated
Yeah.
without getting shot, which brings down production costs for me.
Yeah. Huge
Okay.
production
Yeah.
costs. Yeah.
So now what I'm excited about right now is we are able to churn out a lot of creative pieces every year
Mm-hmm.
without depending on production expenses. So
And
if
timelines as well. Massive,
yes,
like,
so one is timelines,
yeah.
one is I don't have expensive production behind
Yes.
it, and hence I'm able to do a lot of pieces of storytelling
Yes.
now, which probably I would not have been able to do earlier.
Yes.
So now, at least from a trend, I don't want it's not trend, but what I'm trying to say is as a marketer, I'm able to reach my consumer at a much
Faster?
faster, and I can reach out to him with different stories more frequently
Yes.
because also the cycle that exists now has become shorter.
Yeah.
I give you an example: a Liril ad which ran in 1990 ran for 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think more than that.
yeah, so those cycles don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You release something, it's great, probably
2 days.
stays in memory. A really good piece of a creative probably becomes relevant for 6 months. Okay,
Yeah.
but now the consumer is getting bored
With the
pretty
same
early.
content. Yeah.
But the very fact that technology is making production cheaper and faster, you can keep on telling new
New
stories, and your
stories.
brand
Yeah.
can keep connected with the consumer.
So
That's broadly
every day.
yeah. So that's broadly I think a good trend in marketing now.
So basically, I think generative AI, like you said, you don't want to put out this word, but generative AI is actually helping us to tap into moment marketing as well.
Moment marketing, even smaller pieces of
Small
production
piece
we
of
are able
product.
to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. And you can reach out to your consumer faster,
It's
better.
still not of great quality, so we probably do use it in creation of certain digital assets. But I think we're not far away from doing it in good
Good
storytelling pieces. Yeah.
storytelling as well. But even then, the huge production cost, the timelines involved, the agency, the the
No, it's good for
manpower.
agencies, by the way. Creative agencies now don't need to depend on production houses.
Yeah,
The
they can do a lot
ideas, the
more in-house.
creativity will still come from creative folks.
Yes,
It is just that the end output now doesn't necessarily depend on big production.
production
Yeah.
houses and big bunnies and big
Yes.
timelines as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what skills or a mindset do you think will be essential for staying relevant in marketing and have a successful career in marketing?
First thing is always be open to try new things.
Okay.
Okay, because this is not an industry which is going to be stagnant. Okay, and just at the pace at which things change, have also become faster. The whole transition from radio and print to television was slow.
Mm-hmm.
From television to digital was slightly faster. Now from digital to what is happening right now is very very fast. And every single year we'll figure out that there is something new coming. How do you ensure that you're abreast with what's happening? So one is always be willing to explore, try something new. That's first. Second is there's this thing which there's a trap. If you're in an organization for a very long time, you start thinking organization first,
Mm-hmm.
and then it almost becomes like a herd mentality where, oh, I belong to this organization. This is what the organization wants to do. This is what the organization wants to say. This is what I want to say, and not really understanding what the consumer wants to hear. Right, and that's a trap we all fall into because we feel, oh, this is what the organization wants to say, and that's how we start writing briefs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the trap that you should always stay away from is,
Organization
yes,
first. It
first
should
is
be consumer
who's the
first.
consumer and does he want to hear this? And if
Yeah.
not, what is he doing right now? Why is he not doing what we want him to do? And what will make him change his behavior? Answer these questions for yourself. Meet consumers and talk to them. That's broadly my advice.
Such a good advice. I'm also going to take that. Thank you so much, Pratik. It
Thanks,
was
Nidhi.
such a insightful session, and we just loved hearing you.
Thanks a lot, Nidhi. Thanks for having me over.
Thank you so much.